praise you. We lift you up. We magnify your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen.
We're
Wow.
gonna ship you some snow, Shalia.
Nah, keep it. Just keep it. You know, I know what that feel like. I don't
No, thank you.
been there, done that.
Okay. I started to go outside, well, to the door and just take pictures and say, "Can you believe this?" But then my daughter said something yesterday. She said, "Mom, it's just February." I said, "You know what? You are so right. And we have been blessed all through the winter. And now it's February and we're seeing snow, you
But
know.
it's okay.
It is okay. It is okay.
It's okay.
Amen. It's beautiful. Snow has its purpose, right?
That's right. Come on, Nutriburs. Come on,
Yeah.
Nutriburs, shine.
Yeah. I just took my matter of fact. I'm
I
gonna
took
grab my
mine this
life ring.
morning. I
Me
heard
too.
y'all
I'm grabbing
talking
my
about
life ring.
being up at 4:30. I took mine about 5. I've been up. I've been at it.
Yeah.
I
See,
was
me too.
calling. I was calling the hogs
Come
around
on,
the
life
time.
drops.
You know.
Yeah. Take my life drops. Here we go.
I love it. That's what we do.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this free your mind Friday. You know what? There's a song. I can't do anything with a song right now because I'm on the device that would give me a song. Um, but there's a song called "Key to the World," old school, and that's been that's probably the start of my whole thing with these keys. When I heard that song, if I had a key to the world, oh man, somebody could play. You know what? I might have to get my son's tablet because that song right there, and it say, "I'll give you everything. I give you love. I give you peace." Oh man, that song I would play it over and over again. I was in high school, and there was a
Wow.
step was cut, and I would
Really?
just play it. Yeah, step was cut. It's amazing. Y'all gonna make me find that doggone song. And love it, love it, love it, love it more than love. 'Cause I give you me.
Mm.
If I had the key, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know it. I know it now.
If
Yeah.
I had a
Mhm.
key to the world. So that's been my key to the world. I was looking at the television today, and I know we just kind of freestyling, which God is
I
always.
got it.
You got it.
Yeah, by L.J.
That's
Reynolds.
it. L.J. Reynolds. Yep.
Yes, you want me to play it now, or you want to play it at the end?
You can play a little bit of it.
All right, y'all. Let's do this. We already put no rights to music, so we got this.
Yep.
Y'all hear?
I had a key to the world.
Girl, I give you everything. Try to keep to your heart. Girl, I make the fire start. Then I'll give you love. And now we know we like to dance. And love it, love it, love it, love it. 'Cause I give you that I'll have the key. Fire the key to the world. Girl, I make your dreams come true. Nothing will keep us apart. Oh. Ooh, I know I make it to you. And I give you love and peace and love it, love it, love it, love it. I like this song. That I'll have the key.
Hey, give you peace.
Look, y'all gonna have to go find that song. So
All
That's
yes,
right.
it.
that.
Amen.
So many,
Amen.
it's so many times I listen to, love songs. Love is love.
Hmm.
And so many times I listen to love songs, and it could just make you think about life. It can make you think about God. It can make you think about platonic friendships and
Hmm.
relationships. And we get to create even within songs that we hear that may have been created for one reason or another, but we get to give meaning to everything. And that song right there just really opened up my mind to just having a key to the world. You know, and that's what it's about. Sometimes down throttle is good. Down throttling sometimes is necessary. If you look at the seasons, everything natural goes through a dormant period of just stillness. And when we go through stillness, if we're not aware or keen on it, we may think that something's wrong. When really that's God's way of restoring us. And we just have to remember that and just keep that in mind. And we can learn so much just from nature if we pay attention. But we just think that, we are, you know, just following this notion that you gotta go, 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 go. Just go. Grind till you die. What is going on? Like, what? I don't even like those words. I don't like the word grind or die.
Hmm.
What? I don't want to grind till I and just paying attention. Like my son was saying the other day, he said, why do adults make adulthood seem like it's just such a scary thing? Like, he's like afraid of growing up to become an adult because of the appearance of it. And I'm like, it's not bad, so we have to be careful and mindful of the image that we display about adulthood, and what does any of it mean, and the words that we actually say about everything, because we're showing what that looks like. We could talk about being a follower of God, Christ, and people who don't know what that walk look like, they'll see us and be like, "Whoa, I don't know if I want that." You go through more stuff than anybody I know. So we just, so many things. We just have to be just mindful. And if God is, then God is, and the period goes right there.
Hmm.
But we don't put the rest of the pieces together. um we don't put the rest of the pieces together, that the things that allow us to just know that everything is okay, like count it all joy. We've bought into this idea and these paradigms of what things mean, and it could just be as simple as it's just something. It doesn't even have to be anything. It could just
Hmm.
be just a day, a thing, something that happened, a relationship, an event. It's an event, but we harp on it. We allow it to define us. We move forward with these labels, and I just want everybody to know that everything is good. I was watching TV today. Well, I'm not really watching TV, but listening to soundscapes, which is music. I turned the television on to watch music. Okay, I'm that girl. So I can't think of anything I want to watch other than listening to music. So that's crazy.
Hmm.
But there's quotes that's always popping up, and there was one that said, "The best way out of a situation is through it,"
Mm.
and just let that marinate, because to turn back is a sin. You don't go through it to get the experience to tell someone else about it, and you won't have the gratitude of having gone through it either. uh, and knowing that once you're on the other side, like, wow, okay, I still here, I did it, I'm good. It reminds me of a time that I was driving and there was a storm. I was on the expressway, and the storm is coming down, it's raining hard, and people are pulling over, visibility was very short in front of us, and we're driving. I'm like, you know what? I have things to do. I can't just pull over. So what I would do, I would just go slowly. I would proceed with caution. And as I was driving, I promise you, not even 5 minutes up ahead, the rain was done. It was clear. I wanted to get off the expressway, go back on the expressway to let the people know it's okay.
Mhm.
Keep going. Like it clears up. Like it's just past your point of visibility. It clears up. So just keep going. Even if it means you have to proceed with caution and go slowly, just don't stop. Keep going. Because sometimes you stop dead center in the middle of the storm and the storm is just there. And you're there right there with it. And you're not even continuing to grow and move through it. And the blessing is not just for you, but being able to tell others that, if you just keep going, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I promise you, the sun was right there. It was like, it was such a lesson. And this was many years ago because the sun was right there at the end of the rain. I was like, "Whoa, really, God? Like, what part of the game is this? This is such a lesson. Like, this is so dumb." I'm like, what? This is like such an amazing metaphor. I'm like, and this is like really happening. And I was like, wow, how many people just stop in the storm and just pull over right there and to wait for the storm to pass? And
Mhm.
it's just, I don't know how long it would have taken, but some people sat there and waited because of fear, right? These are just different things that or not knowing how long it would be there. This is, applied in life as well as in that particular situation. So, and it was fear, people just didn't know, how do I proceed? So the how and just, and it's interesting because each of us, our bodies are like our tools, what we have to work with, and we have different, probably different. What would I say? Like some cars would have like speed wipers and defrosters, and everybody have just different things that they can work with to get through it, to coast through it. Teslas and self-driving and automated. So with our very being, no one should ever tell you exactly what to do, but use the tools that you have to proceed forward, keep going, because we've all been equipped with the same but different things, and it's
Mhm.
beautiful because that's who God is.
Mhm.
To allow us to be different, but yet realize that we're all the same. It's like having just real quick. And I'm gonna
No,
let my
go
head,
ahead.
but
Go.
it's like having a cup of water. I often think about. Thank you, God. That's pretty cool. I often think about like if you go to the ocean and you have a bottle and you fill it up with water, right? It's water in that bottle. If I go and I have a pail or a bucket and I put it in that pail from that same ocean, it's the same water. Spirit of God is the same, but the container is a little different. But it's
Mhm.
still yet a container containing the Spirit of God. So we're the containers, and we're just, we just show up differently, but ultimately we're all the same. So if we could realize that and see each other as such, we just love on each other. Like you looking at yourself, you looking at a reflection of you all the time. And and people, no, this person not like me. It's just an experience that they had. Maybe their bucket got a little tethered. Maybe that bucket went through some things before it got to, and now you see the bucket, now you want to judge the bucket. It's like, but the spirit is the water, the content is still the same. And if you start to see it as such, then all of those outside things that we see that are very shallow will start to disappear. You'll just see people, you'll just see a reflection of God in everybody if you choose to.
Mhm. Mhm.
If you choose
Part
to.
part two, Dr. Kara, is learning how to use the tools, because we all have capabilities to do things, and we do things differently. I may not do it the way either one of you all do it. It doesn't make my way wrong and yours right, or yours wrong and mine right. It's just that's the way I learn how to use my tools. So learning how to utilize the tools, and sometimes that can be tense, because when you don't feel that you have the capability of utilizing the tools right, You look at other people and you're like, well, look how they doing ABC 1, 2, 3, and I can't do it that way. So we begin to feel insecure about our capacity or our capability. And I'm no comparison to you. And I hate when people compare themselves to others, because I am no comparison to you. We came up different ways, had different parents, had different circumstances in life. We can see some similarities, but I'm not you. And so I won't do things the way you do them. And it's okay for me to be me and
Right.
express it the way that I am. And I sent Dr. Kara a message yesterday. I said, look, I just need to unplug. I'm just not having a good day. And I just, really just needed to pull out. But then, you got to learn how to practice what you preach too. And so you have a choice when things are not going perfectly for you. You have a choice to really go with that or change your state. And so I found myself, I talked to Jaja yesterday, and she did some stuff for me. And that's what I did. I started dancing. I just started dancing in my room. I just started dancing. And I also started smiling, because even if you don't feel like smiling, just the fact that you're smiling, you're releasing those endorphins, that happy juice, serotonin is starting to flow, because your body is used to, when you smile, good stuff starts going through your system. So I'll just
Mhm.
smile. Why? Because I needed to change my state. And so again, utilizing the tools that you have. And that was something that was in my arsenal. So I didn't wait for somebody to make me happy. I didn't wait to find joy in what somebody else could say or do. I changed my own state. And
Mhm.
today I'm in a better space. I'm in a better headspace. Why? Because the tools that I have, like you said, we all got them. You got to use the tools that you have and make life work for you. So, amen.
And something I was thinking that was really good, from the both of you. I thank you so much for sharing. And one thing that Dr. K said and made me think about is like sometimes, like in the midst of a storm, we allow our disabilities to, we basically attach things to our disabilities and say, oh, well, I can't do this because, well, I can't see, my eyesight is bad, and all this other stuff. But didn't you get in the car and get this far?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Didn't you, get to this point? Like, so you got to this point. So why is it now? Oh, my eyesight is bad. Now the excuse comes up, but if the storm was not there, you would have still driven to where you had to go, right?
Right.
You would have still gotten there. So then, why is it now the excuse, right? Also, it made me think about, it's like sometimes we go through these processes, and God always says, "Let me smack you in the hand first," right? If y'all see me too, ever do this, it's like you never know that commercial that be like, "Boop, you should have drunk a V8." Like it's like one of those moments, like a aha light bulb moment. That sometimes we go through this process, and here we are, and we got our bodies in order, right? We got our core and all that. We was like, oh my gosh, we're so excited. We upgraded that to, let's just say, a Tesla, right? So we upgraded that to a Tesla, but we still, walking around with old Toyota parts in our arms.
Mm.
And so here go this body like trying to automate, and your arms is back in the wind because they can't keep up with what the body is doing. So therefore now it's like, hold on. If you're gonna upgrade it all, upgrade it all. Do
Mhm.
it all. If you're going to go through the process, go through the process in full. Don't say, oh, well, I'm going to leave some of this behind because I want to be able to grab onto that every now and again. I want to be able to grab onto that excuse. I want to be able to grab onto that fear. I want to be able to grab on to that. So, therefore, that can give me a reason on why I can't complete this or why I can't do this. I have to have I've been through, I've been through this and this and that. And it's like, oh, well, and now you want people to feel sorry for you. No, guess what? I got a story too. And I can open up my mouth and be like, yo, well, look, I'm hearing you, but then here goes me. Dr. K has been through a lot, okay? A lot in these past couple years. And she can be on here telling you all the sad stuff about it, all the downs, and like, oh my gosh, well, I can't do this and I can't do that, and all of these different things. But no, she's like, no, me and my husband about to star in a movie. Me and my husband's about to do this. We just went here. We just went here. We just went there. Keep rocking and rolling. The sadness is going to be there. The moments are going to come, but we still got to live out this life. And that's why I love them. I love them so much because at the end of the day, they continuously show like, look, yep, this is going to happen. Yep. With Dr. James Dentley, he used to, or Sir Dr. James Dentley, he used to get on all the time. Look, I don't feel good. And he'd still be right there on that Zoom. Mm-hmm. Feeling down, bad, whatever. We done been to conferences and he had to lay off on the side because his sciatica, like all these different things, but he still shows up. Mm-hmm. He still shows up regardless of whatever is going on. So that's what I'm saying. Like we can have all these moments. We can have the mind of the Tesla where it's like on an automated going and we going and we going and we moving, we drive, and everything is just clicking. But then here we go. We have the body of old Volvo, old Toyota, and we like, hold up. Well, my body is broken.
How about?
But Dr. James, he showed us we can't do that.
But how about this man does lives from his hospital bed, getting ready to have surgery, and he's doing a live to encourage somebody else. I'm like, who does this kind of stuff? We want a lot of us want to stay in the moment of that pain and let that pain control how we respond. But not Dr. James Dentley. Sir Dr. James Dentley, he's like, oh no, I'm moving. I'm still gonna continue the flow of what I'm doing in the midst of the circumstances. It's not necessarily favorable. Who does that? Who does that? He does.
And you have to think about this. And this is where, and we're going to talk about love real quickly because Dr. K brought up love this in the beginning, right? So we're going to talk about this. And this is something so we have to think about it. Although, yes, Dr. K, she has it instilled in her to love and to drive and to go, right? But we have to understand the things that she has been through to have a man like Dr. James Dentley, to have a man like that to say, hold up, he has shown me example. I have somebody pushing me to keep me alive, to keep me afloat, to keep me in the moments where I want to drop, right? And so this is the excitement. This is why I just adore their relationship for the simple fact of is that it shows in their display of what it's like, to be equally yoked with somebody. It's not about what somebody looks like. It's not about somebody's age. It's not about all that stuff. It's not about that. Are we equally yoked and can we go higher? Can we fulfill God's destiny, not only for my life or your life, but can we fulfill God's destiny for this union? Can we do that? Can we do that? That's where things then become very, very important. And that's why I'll be like, man, I see them and they make me smile. They make me smile. I'll be like, that is what I'm talking about.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Because that is something, you really have to think about that. There could have been times I know it for without a doubt. I'm like, man, woo, look, let me just go lay in bed for a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months. I'll holler at you later. Just leave me alone, right? But you have somebody, here is a Sir Dr. James Dentley, like, come on. When he's down and going through it, here he is. He has Lady Dr. K. Like, come on, baby, let's go. So they're never allowing each other to stay in these moments. because they know they got work to do that's outside of them. That's where it's like, but how can you? We are on a Free Your Mind Friday, and I'm about to yield here. We're on the Free Your Mind Friday. How can you free your mind enough to be able to be in the space that you need to be in to meet the individual that you are supposed to live life with? How can you free your mind enough, free your mind of the doubts, free your minds of the fears, free your mind of the anxieties, free your mind of, am I enough? Free your mind of all these things. How can you actually free your mind enough of that to actually get up, put the clothes on, register for the event, or go to the mall because you kept saying I need those pair of shoes for this or whatever, right? I need to do this. I need to go get some groceries. Stop ordering the dang on Uber Eats and all this other stuff. Get out the house. Get out the house. And this is something I had to learn, okay? Too, because I got comfortable. I said, I can just order that. I ain't got to go nowhere, right? But now you order an Instacart and they say, oh, we ain't got the items, but you go in the store and it's like the item right there. What you talking about? Right? But you got to get up and get out the house because we don't know where that person just may be at. We don't know when we may cross that person's path. But can you free
It's
your mind enough just to get there?
very, very, very true. Very true. Um, wow. Thank you for bringing that up, and I appreciate all of the kind words
Love
that
y'all.
you both stated. Thank you. We love y'all too. We do. We absolutely do. Um, but that whole thing about just being consistent, and sometimes you have to have those conversations with yourself, and when you feel yourself going on that path, because there could be an upward trajectory, but there's also a downward trajectory. And just being in a place where you just ask yourself, okay, now what?
Mm.
Now what? Well, what are you gonna do now? You're talking to yourself as if you are the third party. Like, okay, so here you are, or here she is. Now she wants to go down where? Where you going? Where you going? Get out of there! Ain't no. Come on back up. You have to have these conversations, and it becomes funny because it's like, okay, all right, and you kind of have this dialogue. My mom and I have this thing, and now James and I, we say it too. Like, you know what? I said to myself, self, and myself said, huh?
Huh?
And myself said, huh? And so sometimes you have to bring those things out and just laugh about it. I remember hearing a comedian say, when you stop laughing at life, life will start laughing at you. Because you just have to keep going. And when James and I like reconnected, it was at an event. It was out. It was out. And I think about like just the different places that we've been. Everything has the connections that we've made have been made because of a connection at an event. This event led to this event, and the connection here led to this event and this event, and it continues to move. Absolutely, hands down. Like if we just went back, it was this event led to that event. So even when you're in your head and you're like, "Ugh, I don't feel like going," like this last coming off of the cruise, I'm like, oh my God, I got to get my hair redone. I have to unpack, repack. I have to, it just a lot of things had to happen, and I'm like, oh, I don't feel like it. But your success doesn't care about your feeling in that moment, and I'm so glad that we went because it's the connection, and just think about it, the people that you meet, some of them feel the same way sometimes too. Like, I don't feel like going. And
Mm-hmm.
then you go and you're like on the other side of it, like, I'm so glad that I went. And if you hear about momentum, and it's a scientific, it's a physics principle that an object in motion stays in motion, an object at rest stays at rest. So the more you talk yourself into not doing things, the more you talk yourself into not doing. And
Yeah.
the more you talk yourself and you just push yourself and say, I'm going. I'm eliminating that doubt because I don't know who I might meet. I don't know what conversations may be had. That may be the next conversation that I need to have. And not so much for my benefit, for their benefit, for our benefit. I just don't know. And if I don't if I don't go, then I know my answer is no. Like I snuff out every possibility that would have come out of that encounter. So, everything that you can go to, go to. Now, those things that you just absolutely can't make it, so you can't make it. You just can't make it. But those things that you can, and you just sitting in the house like, I don't feel like going, so I'm just not gonna go. There's so much that happens in showing up. And that's why we always say 80% of success is in showing up. So show up. Because James and I, like I said, we reconnected at an event that somebody else invited me to. I'm doing credit card processing machines. So I'm like, I'm going to show up because I'm trying to sell these credit card processing machines. And it was one of his events that somebody else invited me to. But before going to that event, I met that person at a different event. So it was like this event led to that event and then this event. So when you have those invitations, especially when you're in those moments and you're like, what's next? And then you get a phone call, you see a post about an event coming up, and then you have the audacity to be like, I don't know if I want to do that. And it's like, what? You are in conflict with yourself. You are not, your thoughts, your actions, and your emotion is incongruent. I'm using these mathematical and physics terms. I can't help it. You're incongruent. You know what I mean? It's not even lining up. Like you got some stuff going on like this. Your thoughts, you're saying this, but you're doing that. What's happening? It's not even doing this. It's just on a whole different trajectory. Like get it together. Get it together. Because if like you talked about how James, he could be in a hospital bed. You don't think that he's sitting there, and sometimes they have him on narco and all these other things in the process. He's not feeling anything. He's just excited to be through with the surgery, or just excited to be about to get it completed, to eliminate pain. So he's just excited. But you don't think in his mind he's thinking, I really just wish I could just lay here and rest. But he's thinking about the people who there may be something that stirred up in his spirit that he's like, I have to get this out. I cannot hold this in. This is not just for me. This message is not mine. This is coming through me so that I can share it out to other people. And just think about the different messages that people won't get if he said, nope, I'm just gonna sit here and relax in this bed and wait for them to bring me the next meal. Right? But he's like, no, I have to get this out. I have to get this out. And that in and of itself, many times I not only hear what he says, you have to watch what he does. And that's huge. That's like everything, because we hear and people see the results, but they don't see like even when we were just at the premiere, he's standing up there on stage with one shoe. Why? Because his foot was in pain from gout. So he's standing up there like one shoe on, one shoe off. We have pictures, okay, with the one shoe action taking place. But that just go to show that when you have a made up mind and you've made a decision that there's a certain path that you want to take, and there's a certain result that you want to yield, and that there's a certain way that you want to show up and a certain way that you want to be, nothing and no one can stop you, not even, pain, because you have a made up mind. Because what happens when you say that this is what I want, and then pain comes in, which that pain could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be mentally, it could be spiritually, and you're like, I was in pain, my feelings was hurt, I couldn't show up. What message are you even sending yourself? Then at that point you can't even trust yourself, because you're like, I don't know if it'll happen. And that's where doubt starts to seep in for the next adventure, because you have told yourself that you wanted something so many times, but you've talked yourself out of it because of something that came up, which it could have been valid, but you've talked yourself out. And once you start on that path, which an object in motion, if you start in that direction with those doubts, you start to go down this path, and you're like, how did I get here? And many times it becomes a downward spin. It's just a spiral, and sometimes it spirals out of control, and people just feel like they're stuck. Like, what do I go from here? Like, what just happened? And making sure that you're in the right company and having the right conversations and talking to people that keep you uplifted and empowered and motivated to just keep going is so important. I can't stress that enough. Relationship is so key. It could be, a partner. It could be a sibling, a relative, a friend, or whatever. A business partner. It could be your TLC family. Somebody that just says, you know what, keep going. Just, hey, lift your chin and keep going. It reminds me of the young man who was on the basketball court. I guess he must have missed a shot, head hung down, and one of the brothers just running next to him, like just lifted his chin and kept running and just told him, like just keep going. And that just 4 seconds, if it was 4 seconds, it said everything. He didn't even have to open his mouth. He just ran past him and just physically put his fingers on that boy's chin and lifted his head up and pointed like, let's go. Like, keep your head up. Let's keep going. Just keep going. And that's what we need, man. We are here now. Like, we are leaving a mark for the next generation. What does that look like? And it's not even just our own kids. It's the next generation that's going to look and read the books that we leave, that are going to watch the videos that we post, that are going to hear the things that we say, that are going to be impacted by the people that we impact. What does that look like? What are we leaving for the next generation? Because, let's say 100 years from now, which is just a drop in the bucket when you look at time, most of us, I don't know what they're doing, hey, may or may not be here. But what does that look like? But we get the opportunity to be here now. Like, look how beautiful that is. Like, what are the chances of that? That is so cool. Like, I could have been born like 100 years ago and we wouldn't be here. Or you all could be here like 100 years from now and we wouldn't be having this conversation. But we are. And I never take that for granted. I never take that for granted. Any encounter that I have with people, because sometimes that may be a lesson, or just, and even if it's not, even if you see each other again, it'll be different because life is constantly changing. The only constant is change. So, when people think, well, I'll say it next time. I'll say I love you next time, or I'll hug next time. I'll say what I want to say next time. The next time will be different. It'll be a whole different scenario and environment. Even if you put on the same clothes and style your hair the same, it's still going to be different. The energy vibe would be different.
Dr. K, that's if you get to the next time. And because I called my grandmother one day to say to her that I loved her. And I had every other conversation with her except that, because that was not something that we've been saying in our family. Well, guess what? The next time never came. I didn't get the chance to say that to her. And I wish I had followed through when I had it on my heart to do it, because she died without ever hearing that from me. At least that time she did. So don't take for granted that you're going to get a next time.
That's
Work
right.
on it now. But I want to ask you this, Shalia. I know you're getting ready to say something. I want to ask you this after Shalia say something to think about. You have put your life on a trajectory for success, and you got on your Life by Kara uh, jersey or shirt right now, and I know that you have Life by Kara a jacket, you have a athletic wear, and you have a whole line, Life by Kara. And so my question for you is, now when somebody wants to break outside of the norm, the mode of what they've been used to handling or being involved with, how do you break outside of that and do something different? Because Life by Kara has always been in you, but it hasn't been in the world. So how do you begin to step outside of your norm and just move into something that you really feel is in your heart to do, to offer something to the world, to say, hey, look, I can do this, you can do it, but it wasn't just done for me. I had to do work to make this happen. How do you mentally say, I'm not going to let anything stop me from creating this design, Life by Kara, whatever that looks like for other people?
Take the first step.
Mhm.
Take the first step, and if you've taken the first step, take the next best step. You have to keep moving. It's what's that sound? Keep on pushing. Uh, Keep on pushing.
Keep on pushing. Curtis Mayfield.
Yeah. Won't stop now. Right?
Yep.
You these songs, you be mindful of everything that go into you. Because what you frequent and do frequently become your frequency. So
Mm.
the conversations and the thoughts that you have, what you eat, what you listen to, the songs that you listen to, the things that you read, you know, the conversations, everything, what you see, the energy that you put behind it. Yes, these thoughts come. This won't happen. This might not happen. This might and this. The key is those things you want to happen, put the emotion behind it. Feel it, love it. Oh, yeah. Like that's the whole thing about the affirming. When people have affirmations, it's not just the verbal part of it, it's the feeling behind it. It's, oh, yes, when my clothing brand does this, not if. Like you have to be mindful of the actual words that you use. If leaves room for so much doubt. If you plant the seed in your mind that it may or may not happen, but when you say when this happens, not only are you telling it to everybody else, you're telling yourself when this happened. That means you eliminating everything. There's no, it won't happen. There's no there. That's not even present. I mean, like think about it. If I was sitting here talking to y'all and I said, you know what, if I go outside today, okay, if you understand how a flow chart works, if means that if I do, this will happen. If I don't, that will happen. But if I change that whole sentence and say, look, when I go outside today, there is there is a exact direction, a definitive action that is happening. Saying when I go outside, there is no if, there is no it may not happen. It's happening. Even if there's a little inkling of doubt, my verbal words that are spoken, life and death is not just life and physical death. Life and death of your dreams are in the power of your own tongue. Nobody else's. So when people think that, no, well, I told my friend that this was going to happen and they had doubt. You've lended over your dreams to somebody else. You gave away your power. You like, we don't even understand how the foundation of how we speak has trumped and taken away our dreams and our future. Be mindful of something. Be mindful of something. When you're in a room of people, right? Be still long enough to really be present. Not just I'm in the room. Oh my God, I'm just so happy. Let me take a picture. Oh my God, selfie. Really be present where you're like paying attention to facial expressions, where you're paying attention to the authority that people use when they speak, the actual words that are being tossed around the room. Pay attention, because those are the secret nuggets. Those are the keys that people miss because they just so happy they just want a photo. Can I get a selfie with you? They get that picture, but they didn't pick up on like the real nuggets. Like if you watch, like when Bill James, I mean, just and these are people that I'm just saying because some of you have been in a room with them, and I'm saying them. There are many. Sharon Lecter. If you watch and just listen to what they say and how they say it, it's never with doubt. It's never with doubt. If you listen to James when he does his lives, he'll say, when we get to 1 million subscribers, he don't say, well, if I get to 1 million subscribers, and he include other people in the vision. When we get to 1 million, if I'm saying that, you feel like, oh, we get into 1 million subscribers. We doing this. You get excited about the vision. Now, on the flip side, when you're around people that feel that are stuck, and there's nothing wrong with it, they just don't understand. They have to tweak their language. But you have to put yourself in these rooms so that you can observe. Put yourself in an observer's chair. Now, when you go in other rooms, You will hear the exact opposite, because now you're conscious of it, and you'll start to see like, what? Little, subtle, yet so major. So major. You will see, it'll be like being in two different, it'll just be like in two different universes. You'll start to see like, therein lies the difference. And that's what creates the energy in the room. What is the actual communication and conversations that are being had? Even if you overhear two individuals talking to one another, and not because sometimes we only keen on what's happening from the stage. Listen to the conversations. I remember I was sitting back when, I did just pay attention to politicians, everything, just people in leadership. You will hear them say, because we Secretary of State Jesse White, the former Secretary Jesse White, you will hear him say, "Oh, it's good to see you, Shalia." If he see you, he'll say, "It's good to see you." In your mind, you thinking, "Do I know this man?" Now, you probably never met him before in your life. But do you know how to make a person feel? It's good to see you. That make the person you say that to, make them think, "He think he know me. It's good." Or it's just good to see me. You see him from the stage. President Biden give his State of the Union speech, or any speech from the stage. He pointing at people. "Oh, look at you. I see you." He might not be pointing at anybody. It's a habit. Hillary Clinton would do it. Donald Trump, name him, whatever. It doesn't matter. President Obama, it's in the body language. We communicate in so many ways. It's not just verbal. That's why when it comes to affirmations, it's not just about what you say, it's the feeling that you put behind it. It's, do you feel it? Do you feel like I will have wise conversations? Do you feel like that? Do you feel like that when somebody come and they bring craziness to you? Does it run through your mind like, I will have wise conversations? Do it like stir up in your spirit where you feel like, why are you bringing this to me? Because now it's in you where you're like, yo, like this is not a wise conversation. What are we doing? What are we talking about? How's this going to move anything forward? What are we saying? When it comes to that whole language thing, man, as you all know, we're homeschooling, and our son, I allow him to just, because we come here with so much curiosity. And that curiosity is so pure that we take that away when we're like, you're going to go into this setting and you're going to have this conditioning. We have to be mindful of who is speaking over our kids, speaking into them, their own belief systems. Like, how do we go through all of this personal development and then just haphazardly just send our kids into an environment that we have no idea? Y'all have no, man, look, when I started thinking about that, I was like, I don't even know what your teacher belief system is. I don't know what spirit you have. I don't know who sent you. Nothing against teachers, but it's a new day. They teach us stuff. My son would come home like, at that time he was like, I'm 9. What they're talking about, I don't care about the sexuality and stuff they trying to push on kids. He was like, we're 9. I'm like, you know what? I have to take control of this situation if it matters to me. So my son says he has this thing about leaders, Napoleon, Stalin. I mean, he's naming names that, I mean, from world leaders, Gandhi. And he said, Mom, have you ever listened? Have you ever gone back and listened to recordings of these leaders to hear their voices, to hear how they sound, to hear what words they put emphasis on? I didn't send him on an assignment. He wanted to, that was just something in his mind. He said, I want to hear their voices, even those that spoke different languages. I want to hear their tone. And he starts mocking their tone, even in the different accents. He said, because I want to hear how do you have to sound to have people follow you? Yo, what? What? I'm like, wow. He like, cause there's something with that. It's so freeing to let him just be free like that. We went to go see the Emoji movie, right? Was the Emoji movie or Inside Out? Both of those I encourage people to watch. Emoji, Inside Out, and Soul. Cartoon movies, I love them. That's my thing. Lion King, I love them. He's sitting there. I want to say, was it Inside Out or Emoji? It was one of those two. And we're outside in the park. It was a community thing. They put it up on a jumbotron for families to come out, bring your blankets. And I said, where do you want to sit? You know, we're gonna lay out the blanket, lawn chairs. You want to sit right here? He said, nope, I want to sit up there in the front. Because at certain parts, I want to watch people's expressions. I want to see their faces. I want to see, he said, I saw the movie. I want to see people's expressions at certain parts in this movie. What? Free to learn. Free to be. Are we there? Communication. Picking up on those things. So to answer your question, Pastor Capitori, how do you get out of that? How do you get out of that space? James always says it, and we hear him say it so much that we could just repeat it, and it's almost like, quoting scripture, and just, it just kind of rolls off of our tongue. But really think about when he says it. Get out of your head and into your greatness. Get out of your head because you're spinning. Get out of there. Get out of it. Get out of it. Because you could take yourself on a journey. We've all done it. You just take yourself on a whole field trip. You just out there. And what? You got the vehicle. I mean, you got the emotion. You just driving all by yourself. Just going. Get out of there. Take the next step. What comes after that? The next step. And sometimes you don't know what it is, but I promise you that first step will lead you to the next step. But you won't get to that second step if you don't take that first one. That first next best thing. When I was in physics, we used to have to set our problems up a certain way. What are my knowns? What are my unknowns? What equations do I have? What do I have to work with? What do I have right now? Now I ain't gonna think about what I don't have. What do I know that I have to work with? What are my resources? What do I have? And you start there. And you work with what you have. So what are my knowns? What are my unknowns? What equations do I have? And what is my end goal? What am I looking for? That's how we have to set up our problem. What am I looking for? What do I need that I feel like I just write it down? But then you take that first step. What do I have to work with? Take that first step. Then from there, I promise you, a conversation you may have with somebody, come up with something to say, you know what, have you thought about this? You like, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that's the next step. It's like when I went to buy my house, I didn't know what I was doing. My parents weren't even there with me. I bought my first house. It was just me. I ain't had no cosign. It was just me. I mean, things are different now with post 9/11 and different regulations and all of this stuff. I'm just down there. I went to several banks. I didn't even know. I went to my first step was a real estate office. And all of this is in my book, and it's coming out very soon. It's talking about the blueprint of intention, okay? Using science to govern your greatness. Aha. All right, so moving right along. I went to real estate office. I didn't know. I I came up with the idea. Doubt never seeped in. I was like, "Hello, Ma. You know what? Instead of looking for an apartment, I'm gonna buy a house. Buy a house. Y'all gonna figure it out." Got off the phone that day. I went and drove to a real. I looked up. I said, "Oh, this is a pretty big real estate office. I'm gonna go in here." I walked in. Was like, "You know what? Lady said, how can I help you?" I said, I want to buy a house." She was like, "Okay. Have you been pre-approved?" I said, pre-approved? What's that?" Right? That was that first step. I had to went to something. What do I know? Real estate office, y'all sell houses. She said, "Well, honey, you need to get pre-approved." "Where do I go to get that?" "You need to go to a bank." "Okay, well, I guess that's my next stop. Any recommendations of a bank? Do I talk to anybody in particular? Just go to the bank." She said, "They'll walk you through it once you get to the bank." Cool. Over to the bank I go. I need to speak to a banker. What is this regarding? "I want to buy a house. I need to get pre-approved." From there, "Okay, you need to speak to a home mortgage specialist." Home mortgage specialist. There's a new word. Didn't know I need to talk to him. Okay, let me write that down.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get approved right away at that bank. And that was the bank I was banking at.
Come on, talk. That's a whole word.
That's a whole word. And I could have thrown in the towel like, I don't qualify. I had to get pre-approved, pre-qualified, all of that stuff. It was just a lot of loopholes, but I never ever let doubt seep in. I had a made up mind. I'm buying a house. It just made sense to me. If I have to live somewhere and I'm paying to be somewhere, why can't I buy a house? So I kept going. Went into the next bank. Went into the next bank. And then one of the guys said, "You know what? We don't usually do this," because I wasn't working a full-time job, but I had a scholarship that was paying me every month. So that's still income. That's still income. And they was like, "We usually don't do this, but your credit is good." I have my stuff lined up. Got pre-qualified, pre-approved. I went back to that real estate office like, "I'm ready to buy my house. I got pre-approved." They couldn't find me what I was looking for. I wound up building my first house was built from the ground.
Wow.
I was 25.
That's so awesome.
So when you have an idea, you start with what you have and you go from there, and you don't let anybody stop you and tell you that it's not possible, because everything is. There's a reason why God put certain seeds in certain people to move forward, to show us possible. And when you have doubt, I'm sure that God is like, "Oh my God, I have not given you the spirit of doubt, fear, or anything. Where is this coming from? Where is this? It's not coming from me. You asked me for these things. I put them in you. Watch your conversations, the people you're around. You want to be around people that the minute you say something out your mouth, they when we start. The minute you say something, you say, "I'm going to start or whatever." They like, "Let me know. You send me the website. I'm ready to buy." What we doing? Let me know if you need anything. Like, that is the beauty of being in the right places. And sometimes you have to make that initial investment. That initial investment will open up so many doors. That initial investment. People don't understand they have debt karma, because sometimes they want to do stuff for free, and it just don't work like that. It does not work like that. Somebody gonna give it to you. Sometimes you don't want it to be given to you. Somebody was gonna give me a class. They were doing this training, this master class, and they said, "I want to give it to you. I'm just gonna." I said, "Nope. I want to pay for it. I want to pay for it." I said, I want to pay for it. Because you put this stuff together. This is yours. This is. You took time to do this. Like, you did this not for it to be free. There's debt karma. People have to stop running around wanting something for free. You have to watch who you around that's telling you that stuff ought to be free. I'm waiting for somebody to give me something, man. Look, that's a whole energy that you don't even want to be in.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
You want to be in an environment where folks just like, if they blessing, they blessing. If well, people, I got the tab today. No, I got the tab. No, it's my turn to pay. You want to be around folks that look. I want to bless you. No, I got it. No, I got it. No, I get that. Because there's an energy in that. There's an abundance energy that exists in that space.
Mm.
I mean, we used to go to Jewtown when I was growing up. I ain't realized what that was doing at the moment because it was, man, we're going to jip you down. We're going to jew you down. We're going to jew. That's why I was called Jewtown.
Yeah.
We chewing you down. You tell me that jacket costs $80. I'm like, I got 65. And they come up $2.67. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'll take it. You're like, that was the whole energy in that space. But it was the energy. It was a frequency that everybody was on. You can hear other people jewing them down, jewing the next people down.
That's
Each
right.
store, you go to get your shoes. How much are these? It was learned behavior. This gym shoe, these 95. Okay, I'll give you 80. What? That was the whole thing. But then you be around people, I remember, James was getting ready to do one of his books and, they gave him a price and he said, okay, that's it. And then the guy said, I thought you was going to try to, Jew me down. James like, no, I see value in what you do. I'm going to pay you what you asking for because I see value in it. Like there's a blessing in that in itself because you start to operate in that frequency and with that level of expectation, because then when you come up with something and you say this is what this costs and somebody see value in it, they gonna pay for it because that's what you put out there. That's how you operate. That's the whole flow. Currency is supposed to flow, but we get so uptight. We do things so backwards in our community. We don't understand that we gotta let it flow. I've known people get a haircut for $5. I've known people get haircuts for $500. Same haircut.
Yes.
Explain that. You go in certain communities, it's like, wait a minute, this is the same thing over there, but it's a frequency, it's a vibration. I mean, you can eat off of a Versace plate or you can eat off of a paper plate. It's all a plate, but you're going to pay a whole lot different than you would for a Versace plate than a paper plate, but there's a vibe that comes with it all.
Right.
Come on.
And neither is right or wrong, but where you vibrating?
Woo! Woo! I got chills on that one, Dr. K. There's a vibe that's coming with whatever it is that you're doing. If you don't paper plate or a Versace, there's a vibe that comes with each one. There's a mindset that accompanies each one. I gotta jump into TLC. Why TLC, Dr. K? Why should people invest in TLC? What has it meant to you? And Shalia, you too. Yeah.
There's when it comes to TLC, I got distracted. Something on TV talking about the journey is the reward. The journey is the reward. Wow. There's a vibe with TLC. There's a blessing when it comes to TLC. It's a vehicle. It's a vehicle. I've been in different vehicles. Anything you do to get you to one place, from one place to another is a vehicle. And I've been in different vehicles, network marketing vehicles. Like you heard me say when I was doing credit card processing, trust me, I've gone door to door. I've been door to door sales girl selling credit card processing. Okay. The girl, look, I've done that. I've done many different companies in the network marketing space, and whether it's your job, whether it's a business adventure, it's these are vehicles that we use. And TLC, I love the products. I've been using the products since 2014, December. As a matter of fact, December 13th of 2014, and I really like the product, which is why even if a person has used it, they've seen it. I've had people in my inbox like, "Hey, do you still have this product?" Because they like the product. It could be the tea, the NutriBurst. It's all natural. It's healthy. Um, if you're going to, let's take the vitamin, for instance, the NutriBurst. If you're going to take a vitamin, why not get paid for the vitamin that you take? There's that
Come on.
NutriBurst. It only makes sense. And if you know that it works, we have samples where you could just hand out samples to people. Just, that's how we operate our business. If you hear a person talking about they have low energy, or, oh my God, I need to start taking a vitamin. Let me get you a sample. Let me get you something where you can try. Go to my website or something. 100% money back guarantee. So even if you can't afford to, give a person a sample, have them shop and go to your website. You got to have somebody that would trust you enough to say, especially if they saying that they need it, where they're like, okay, let me get the link. I need a vitamin anyway. Let me try it and the benefit of it. And then you have the leadership that is just making sure I feel like everybody does the best that they can. That's how I choose to view life and people. People do the best that they can. And with Jack and John and the corporate staff, they do the best that they can to bring us the best products, to make it fun, to make it innovative. Where here it is, you have an opportunity to do something that you should be doing anyway, conscious and focused on trying to be healthy. We should be doing that with or without any of this other stuff that just happened, pandemic, COVID, any of that. That should be our focus, because without health, none of any of that matters.
Yeah.
Because if you're not able to enjoy it, then what's the point? So being healthy, having that right leadership, having the community. If it wasn't for TLC, I wouldn't know either one of you, because we probably would have met, but there would not have been a reason to stay in touch. So to be in a place where, because there's a lot of people that I meet, but because they're not in TLC or we don't really have anything in common, we just meet and that's it. But because we had TLC, we've had a chance to grow a friendship, grow a relationship, to be friends, to stay in contact, to uplift each other, to be there for one another through our ups and downs in life. Just to, that the community is what many people don't have that they need.
Yeah.
And what better way to do it than to have a place where you can get healthy products, get paid, form a community, and still have the lifestyle that you want. Just living life. And I remember James used to always say, if you lacking money, if there's anything happening financially, there's nothing financially that you cannot obtain out of that compensation plan.
Mm.
You can recruit your way into it. You can sell product into it. Most people just don't do it.
Yep.
If a person says, I just need to make $100 a week, because we're not just sitting here telling people, yeah, you can make a lot of money, but a person might say, I just want to make $50 a week. That's $200 a month. I just need to make something extra to kind of connect last month and this month bills to connect the gap, to bridge the gap. And sometimes that's it. Having that, if your gas is, let's say, $50 or $80 a week, and now you don't have to worry about taking that money out of your pay, and you're making that, and with TLC sales, having product on hand, you could always make that. Send a person to your website. We got daily pay. It's just so many things that they put in place to just make it to take the guesswork out of it.
Yeah.
So if a person is listening, they're like, well, I'm not a salesperson. Well, look, give it away. Give it away. Remember when you go to the grocery store and they would just give you a little piece of bread with the little toothpick in it and say, "Here, have you ever tried this pizza or this bread with this sauce or whatever?" They gave it to you. The next thing you know, you biting it, sliding it off of that little toothpick. Talking about, that's pretty good. Where did you say I could get this from? They point there. All they don't even have to talk. They just, and then you say, "Where can I get it?" They still don't have to talk. Hand you a box. That's what make TLC. Why TLC? That's why TLC.
That was so good. I'm over here like I'm just over here like trying to
Yeah.
compose myself from like smiling so hard. So I was like, 'cause I mean, you know, how you be like, I look so weird, but oh, I have to tell you, you dropped so much. You dropped so much. Like she had it stored up, waiting for us. I'm like, Jesus, okay, okay, woo, keep it together, keep it together. Um. My God, you say YTOC, this is YTOC. This whole conversation is YTOC. Um, you touched on something that was like so like the people even realize and it's always I always do a self check as well. Be like, what room have I been in and I didn't speak with confidence in that room, although the room was formed to build confidence, right? And so it made me think of those type of things like, how many times have I sat in a room that was built for me to be successful or to succeed or to get to that next level, and I used the word if.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, okay, cool. When I get the money, boom, 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 this is what I'm going to do. So I've already put action to that money. I put action or to whatever that thing is. I said, that was really good. And then also thinking about who am I around that is then saying, hold on. Well, no, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to do this. And I'm not going to do this. And I'm not. And there's always what I'm not going to do versus when I do this, okay, boom, this is how it's going to be. You know, I will honestly tell you all, like, one thing for myself, and I know we are like so far spent, but this has been such a great, meaty conversation that needed to be had. I think this was like beyond what I thought today was going to be, in so many different ways. But also just thinking like, yo, like who are we around when we thinking about that process? Who are we around when we are in the room? Don't get so caught up on what the speaker is saying that you're not listening to the people that are around you, because you can be so focused on what the speaker is saying, and that was something so good and so profound to think about. You can be so focused on what the people are saying, not knowing that you got the enemy like just looking for that one little time you get sidetracked from your cell phone, you get sidetracked from a noise, or oh, your stomach start going queasy or something, and then boom, now here comes all this in because you didn't even pay attention to the people around you. You didn't even pay attention to what was going on around you. Like, you are all in, but are they all in? Right? Are where are you really positioned in this process? So that was really good. I was like, oh my goodness, so many nuggets, so many nuggets. So when you say why TLC, not only because I need it for my, personal health reasons, right? Mind you guys, I had 2016, I had gastric sleeve surgery. I was told that I have to take a vitamin every single day.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me these little chalky, nasty tablet things you had to put in your mouth and it was just disgusting. And I said, if I'm gonna have to do that, I'm gonna be in the hospital all the time. Like, give me infusions because I'm not doing that. That is nasty, right? So I was introduced to TLC. This is the baby. Although we got a new one coming, you guys. Little shameless plug.
Natureverse.
NutriBurst baby coming. But yeah, so I was introduced to NutriBurst, and it was something that I needed in that moment. I was also introduced to, because I'm about to make me some brewed tea. Okay, so I brought my stuff downstairs. I said I need my tea. Right, I've been using my instance. I was like, oh, I got some extra bags upstairs. That's what I'm talking about. But I was introduced to these two products, these two things right here. And the process that I was going through, the desperation that I was in at that very moment, like, hold on, I just went under the knife to get this weight off of me. I was 310 pounds. And I got down to, I want to say I was like at 242 when I first started TLC, right? And I got down and then it stopped. And I'm like, hold up, God, hold up. I just went under the knife. I had high hopes that this was going to be the end all be all. What? I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and this and that, da 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 da. So then when this was introduced to me again, I said it the other day, there's so much power in that word again. When I was introduced to it the second time, it was a no-brainer for me because I was desperate to continue to move on and to continue on this journey, because I'm like, hold up, I done went to the max now. Y'all done had to put me to sleep, cut on my body, cut me open, okay? Make little slits in my stomach, put this little robot in here, did what it did, went in there, cut off 80% of my stomach. I mean, you have to think about these type of things. So when you think about the severity, so when Dr. K had mentioned, like, no. I understand that you want to give me that class for free, but hold on, I'm going to pay for it, because it was a severity in the process. Like, hold up. I want you to show how it's a value thing. So hold on, I value that. Hold on, I just went through all of this and I wanted to succeed. I want to be the best that I can be. I want to live a healthier life. I done been through the pineapple diet, the cabbage, what was that? The Atkins and eating the cabbage. You know how we do all these different things. I done did all that. Now I'm going under the knife and I needed to work. So let's just fast forward. I was introduced to these two products. With these two products, the lowest I have ever been with my weight was 208 pounds with these two products. These are really the main two, okay? Yes, I did incorporate the NRG because, for the simple fact, I work a office job. I'm sitting down. My energy be all over the place, as well as I have to deal with people. And so because I have to deal with people, and this has 5-HTP in it and to help you with your mood and all these other things. I remember before before I was with a trainer and he had me get some things from like I can't even think of the place it was, but he had me get some like a packet of pills. It was a box of pills, and in that packet it had 3 different pills, and one was an appetite suppressor, one was a mood enhancer, and one was for something else, right? So I'm like, hold up, that's what here we are, right? That's what this is in one capsule. So when I think about all the things that I have done and all that stuff, and I'm like, man, I've done all this stuff and I never got paid for that.
Mm.
I was shelling out money, paying somebody else. I was never getting paid for that. I was never reaping no benefit, monetary benefit from that. I was never reaching no benefit of being amongst wise conversations, meeting amazing individuals like Pastor Capatori, Dr. James Dentley, Dr. Lady Kara Scott Dentley, Sharon Lecter, and Bill Walsh, and who else? Oh my gosh, that Les Brown. I mean, come on now. I was just going to the store buying the product, working out, thinking I was doing something, y'all. Woo, girl, I thought I was doing the do. Y'all should have seen me too, y'all. I'm gonna start doing my little workout. They're gonna be like, that girl is crazy. Okay. I ain't like that Dr. K. She's smooth with it, baby. Nah. This one over here be struggling. Be struggling. But this is why TLC, when you think of the grand scheme of things, as Dr. K said, it's like it's been many times that I have been down and out. I get onto these calls and I'll be like, oh, Jesus, I just thank you. What I was so tensed up and stressed out about, it's like, whew, you can just breathe. It's like a breath, like, woo, I didn't even look at it like that. I get to come on here and I hear that even someone else may be going through something worse than I, and I'm like, and who am I to complain? It makes you, it brings so much. It's like a full circle that is just, it's like it has everything you need in it, like all the things that we be chasing after and wanting and all this stuff. Man, I get it all right here. It's like I really don't have to go anywhere else. I have my health products, I have wise conversations, I have the smacks on my hand, like, hey Shalia, what you doing? Right? I have the accountability. I have the if I want to make the money, right? I'm gonna tell y'all this really quickly and then I yield. So I remember, I want to say it was last year. Last year I was going through a financial situation and I was like, man, I really don't know how I'm about to pay my car note. Ooh, but I know it's gonna get done, right? Because when I went to purchase my car, so you guys, I got a 2020 Cadillac XT5. Okay, I'm a boast, but I say that because I remember the day that I had gotten the car. I was standing there saying my affirmations, saying the affirmations Dr. Kara Scott Dentley gave us, right? That we read. So I was reading the affirmations, and when I read the affirmations, I like to raise my hand because I'm like, it's an even exchange. I need to feel this thing, right? As she said, you got to put some feeling behind this thing. And I remember that I did that. And the day before, right, I had went to cleaned out my car. I said, I'm not coming back home with this car. I had put a demand on it that I was not coming back home with that car, y'all. So I had put a demand. So I went to the dealership that I had purchased the car, and this is why I started laughing when Dr. Kara Scott Dentley said I was banking at that bank, and they didn't even give me a loan. So I took the car back to the place where I got it, and they said, "Oh no, we can't do anything. You are upside down from your other car." But I said, "Okay, hold up, God, you told me I'm not coming back home with this car, right?" So I said, "Okay." I didn't get discouraged or anything. I drove to Walmart. I was going to go to the Walmart. Right next to the Walmart is a Cadillac dealership. I said, God, I ain't never had a Cadillac before. I'm going to stop over here. I stopped at that Cadillac dealership. My car is outside. Okay, you guys. I had stopped at that dealership. He was like, okay, let me show you a couple cars. And I seen it sitting back in the back. And I was like, ooh, I'm not going to even go back there because I know that's out of my price range. They try to keep the stuff, in the back. The expensive stuff in the back, you got to walk through. So I'm like, oh, man, I'm not even going to walk back there. So I'm just circling around up front. And so then, that's a whole word. Thank you, Jesus. So then I'm like, he comes outside and he does the panic alarm thing. And it's that same car that I said, I'm not going to go look at. I was like, I'm not going to do that. And so we driving around, we look at it, and I said, oh my God. I said, okay. So then I didn't let him run my credit because, mind you, this other place had just told me, and I'm sorry that I'm prolonging this time, y'all, but it's so exciting. This is why these calls, this is why TLC, y'all. It's so exciting. So I had set up there and left there and said, no, this is what my credit score at. It's roughly around this amount. And I was like, this is how much I owe for this car and so forth. Da, 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 da. Like I'm giving him the whole rundown because this other place told me, right? This other place just told me. And I don't want you to run my credit because I don't want you to pull my score down. So, because when I do find something, right? Let's keep it right. When I do find something, it's going to come all together, right? I need my score to be where it's at so I can get the good rate. So I left there that day, mind you, but this car said, wow, that is really, really nice. That's really nice. And so I left there, still stopped at the Walmart, came home. Next morning, we're doing the empowerment call. I'm doing the affirmations. And I just felt a chill in my body as I was doing these affirmations. And as I was doing the affirmations, the phone rings and it was the dealership. After I got off the phone, I called them back and I said, hey, I just got a call from y'all. And it was the finance man. He said, hey, may I ask, why didn't you leave here yesterday with your car? And I said, what do you mean? He was like, you didn't leave here yesterday with your car. I'm asking you why, right? And I said, well, and I'm telling him the whole story once again. Well, this is my credit, this is that. I went over here to this place, and see, I'm telling him all the things that happened with the person that said they couldn't do something, right? With the all I can'ts and all this other stuff. I'm going through all that, right? And he's like, okay, do you mind if I run your credit? And I'm like, well, he says, do you mind if I run your credit? So I said, okay. He was like, okay, I'm gonna send you the form, fill it out, send it back to me, and we're gonna get you here and you're gonna get your car. I'm like, okay. So he was sure, right? But I wasn't. So he goes, he does it all, we do it all. I have the best interest rate. I've never had an interest rate in the fours on a car. Never. I have a great interest rate on my car. The payment went down just a little bit, right? But I was great with that because that was a couple dollars of savings, right? My insurance on the car, my insurance I was paying went down just a little bit, but it still went down as well. So all these things happened, and I said, that's God's car. That's God's car right there. So when it came to last year and I was going through my moment and I was like, God, you gave me that car. So I know you're going to pay the bill. I just happened to get onto, and this is why I always encourage people, get on the TLC HQ, follow TLC HQU page. Because one great thing about TLC is not, they give more than what is expected. They are givers. Okay? They ain't takers like some of these companies that we want to get into. We go to our job and they take our time all day long, right? And they stressing us out. We going through look, they are givers, right? And so this day I just happened to get on there and they called my name at the end. This is one of the times where they were doing the at the end of the live they would no, this was, I think it was a Thursday Night Live. If I'm right here, they were doing Thursday Night Live. I want to say it was, and my name was called, and I was able to spin the wheel, and I was able to get like $600. I think I won like $600, and I said, "Wow, there it is. God, you paid my car note." So why TLC? Why TLC? Because at the end of the day, and this is why we call this the Lord's company, at the end of the day, God is all up in this thing. Mind, body, and spirit, right? God is all up in it. That's why TLC. And look, here comes Dr. K doing her workout.
Get ready to do her workout. Before
Dr. K,
before the workout, one last question. We're almost on an hour and 30 minutes, you all, just talking, just having a
it's good.
conversation. One more question. What do you say when people say, I can't afford to join TLC? I don't have the money. I can't do it. It's too much. I can't do it.
Language is everything. Language is everything. You can't using words. We just talked about this. Your language. Most people are lazy in their language. Instead of talking about what you can't afford, conversation is how can I afford? What do I need to do? Most people have too much stuff that they don't need. We just talked about that. Clear your closet. You know, we've been trained and conditioned that in situations that are adverse situations, we find the money. If your car got towed or you got a ticket, you'll find a way. But we don't use that same tenacity and that same energy and that same excitement to move towards our dreams. we will use that energy to get out of a hole, but not to go up.
Mm.
Dr. K! God!
Mic drop. Mic drop. I gotta give me a microphone. I
My
gotta have the microphone
goodness.
close. Okay. We will use that same energy to, how'd you say it, to
To get out of a hole, but not to go up.
I gotta type that in. Gotta type that in. All right.
My
Okay. I
goodness.
got that typed in. Okay.
Lord, we
You
gotta, we
gotta
gotta.
come back and speak more because see, you just like giving it all to us. Like, here you go, the flood is here. Woo! Man. Mm.
Mm,
To get out of a hole, but not to go up. Did I say that right?
yeah, but not to elevate, not to go up, not to be better, just to get back to zero.
Just to get back to zero.
Just to
My
we don't want to go any higher. I can't afford that. Let that car get towed. They say you need $500 by hook or crook.
Oh my God. Oh
You
my
get that
God.
$500. But if I say $500 to invest in your future, I ain't got it. Or maybe the value
Mm,
just not there.
mm.
Maybe, people value their vehicles and their cars and their phones more than they do their actual bodies, the vehicle that they have to actually walk around and live in for the rest of their life. I remember I gave this metaphor at one of the conferences that I spoke at for TLC. And I said, if I just gave you one car to use for the rest of your life, just think about it. You'll do everything you can to change the oil right on time. You're gonna make sure that you keep it clean. You won't let people just dump ashes on the seats, and you're gonna make sure the engine is running right. You don't want nothing to lock up. You're just gonna take care of it. Our bodies.
yeah.
We have one body to live in. Why don't we
Come on.
treat it as such? Treat it as such. My daddy always say the body will take care of itself. The body will heal itself. People say, you have so much energy. What's the secret, man? He said, it's not about what I do now. It's what I've been doing over the years,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of my body. He would say things like, why on birthdays and stuff, everybody want to go eat, go eat, go eat.
Mm.
There's other things you could do to celebrate than just go out to eat. He used to say stuff like that. We'd be like, Daddy. And he just like, it's true. He like, if we went to eat for everybody's birthday and Father's Day and Mother's Day and
Lord help us.
Valentine's Day and Easter and Christmas, and he's just like, y'all act like that's the reward. Like, what are y'all doing? I'm like, God, he used to make these simple yet profound statements.
Yeah.
He said, for your birthday, we going to eat. He like, eat again. I don't want to go out to eat. I'm like, who said I'm hungry? I'm like, wow. Wow. Man, the things he would say, they say, you want us to put sauce on your wings or sauce on this or dip it. He like, no, I want to see the meat. I want to see it. You might be covering up anything. I want to see it. I put my own sauce on it. I said, oh, daddy. They wasn't ready. But just simple yet profound statements straight to the point. Mm,
Wow.
man.
Wow. Well, you all see why we love Lady Dr. K. I'm telling you,
Yes.
she dropped nuggets. I mean, to have you be trying to work that thing out for the rest of the day, the next week,
Yeah.
digesting those golden nuggets. So I'm just so glad we had you on here to just, share your heart. Just, say whatever you wanted to say. Thank you so much. And this is Free Your Mind Friday. And she liberated quite a few minds. If
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
back, you missed it, go back and listen to this again. It was a long live, but the words that came forth are life changing. So, and we are life changers. We're total life changers. So, thank you all so much for joining us. Shalia, thank you for showing up. Glory to God. And just, this was just a free will conversation. That's all it was, just a free conversation. So, we are
Yeah.
total life changers. I'm going to do our little plug and then we're going to let you go. If you all want to go ahead, you all could go on and I can do the plug myself. But thank you
I
all
love
so
you,
much.
ladies.
Love you,
I
love
love
you,
you
love
all
you, love
so much. This
you, love
was
you, love you.
fun. Maybe I
Yeah.
will come on and talk more. But
Please do.
I
Please do. Please
enjoyed
do.
y'all.
Yeah, it was wonderful having
Did
you.
you?
Thank you so much. And
Look,
listen,
I'm gonna have to get up and get it together now, Dr. K, because you working out. I'm like, hold up. I guess I got to
okay,
start today. We
okay,
can't start tomorrow.
Today,
Today.
tomorrow never comes.
Amen. So,
okay.
It's
Well,
always
amen.
just today.
amen.
All you
We're
got is
gonna get it
It's
today.
all
together.
we got.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yep.
Well, you see, she got her. I'm trying to find this picture to show lifebykara.com. And you see that that's what she has, lifebykara.com. And you see her active wearing. She got to see she wearing that suit, you all. Got her own hula hoop. And she getting ready to get busy. So I got to get busy too. So thank you so much. Lady Dr. K, love you so much.
You're welcome. I love you too.
All right. We'll see you. We'll see you. We'll see you
Yep.
next time.
Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday. Amen. We got a $25,000 contest coming up. Season 3 is here, and you all can join us for season 3. And win 25,000, 5,000, 1,000. Those are the prizes that you could win to enter that contest. So you heard Shalia say it. TLC is a giving company, always giving up something, and this is season 3, which means that, and then it went better than that. It says $25,000 contest, but it's literally a $65,000 contest, and 25,000 is winner, the grand prize winner, but the person that coached them also wins 25,000. The person that coaches the second place winner, 5,000. Uh, also gets 5,000. The person that coaches the third place, 2,500 winner, also gets 2,500. So it's literally a $65,000 contest. And this is the third season of it coming up. Don't miss the mark. But you know what? Even if you don't want to, you're not interested in that, just do something for you. You heard Shalia say, and Dr. K said as well, I figured I'm going to take vitamins. I might as well get paid for taking my own vitamins. It just makes sense. So that's something that you can join us with. We are here on Tuesday for Tea Talk Testimonial and Technique at 8 a.m. We're here on Wednesday for Wisdom Word Wednesday. We invite you to join. The numbers, as Brother Lavelle says, well, the dial in number is always the same, 302-202-1110. The code is 713799. Yesterday, Rita, Thankful Thursday. She'll be back next Thursday. And usually today, our Brother Lavelle Faulkner, Mr. Mindset, is doing Friday's call. So we encourage you all to come on back with us. Today is I'm gonna let Shalia tell about it. It's Fun Friday, and on Fun Friday, Shalia, what happens on Fun Friday?
We have fun.
Okay, you get
Fun,
to
fun,
join.
fun, fun, fun.
You get to be a part of Fun Friday. Go to TLCHQ, and I believe is it 11 o'clock? Is it 11 or is it?
It's 10 a.m. Central, 11. Oh, I think it's on right
It's
now.
going on right now. So we're going to have to get off of this live and say, join us for Fun Friday at TLCHQ Facebook page. Don't forget Limitless for Women is coming up March 18th and 19th. Go and sign up for that. Women Limitless for Women 2023. Eventbrite.com is for women, but men can come. And then I don't know if we want to do the affirmations. I'll just put them up on the screen because Shalia said it very
Look,
well.
like they're already on. Listen, you see how excited they are, you guys? Y'all got to
Okay.
get over there.
So get on over there. We're gonna close it out. The affirmations are posted, so you can just recite it on your own. Thank you all so much. We're gonna get on Fun Friday because we know that there should be three winners coming out too. That are going to be in the final contest. We have wonderful specials going on. If you want to join the business, get in touch with the person that invited you to the call. Thank you all so much for joining us. We pray that you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the other side. God bless you. Have a great day. Thanks so much, Shadia. Great job. Great job. Great job.
Great job,
Great
ladies.
job.
Love you all.
Thanks so much. Bye bye.
Peace.
Bye bye.
I
Peace.
love y'all.
Love you.